Broadcasting from the Bayou State and all around the Gulf Coast and streaming nationwide. This is the C.L. Bryant Show.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the C.L. Bryant Show. I am C.L. Bryant, and I want to thank each and every one of you for coming along with us on this journey this evening. I want to say to our friends in southern Arkansas, East Texas, and throughout the Gulf Coast region of my native land, Louisiana, welcome aboard. Even those in Wilmington, North Carolina, I want to thank you for bringing us into the fold up there as well. We are emanating from the jeweled cities of the Arklatex, Shreveport, and Bossier City, and we're streaming live throughout the greatest nation on the face of the earth, the greatest success story the world has ever known, and that is America. That is America. There are some things, my friends, that will cause America to slip backwards if we allow it, but we must be familiar with what's going on, and we must be vigilant, as Thomas Jefferson has told us. Now, there's a clip that I want to play for you, and it is a clip of Elizabeth Warren at JFK Airport. Now, I want you to tell me if this is mindless or not, but before we do all that now, we're going to be giving away some Go Mad caps tonight, along with Valentine's Day books, Art of the Deal. I'm going to give away Art of the Deal to you. Now, DJT won't be able to sign these, but I will sign them for you as a friend of DJT. And we'll be giving those away on Monday or Tuesday of next week, along with the Go Mad cap. Now, Go Mad stands for Go Make Another Disciple or Go Make a Difference. You choose it. Either way, you make a difference. Either way, we hope we make American disciples. But what Elizabeth Warren was doing was making some nutty disciples of her own. You tell me if this is not frightening. Jay.
Make our voices heard all around this world.
We will make our voices heard all around this world.
We have all heard about this order that President Trump has given.
We have all heard about this order that President Trump has given.
It is illegal.
It is illegal.
It is unconstitutional.
It is unconstitutional.
It will be overturned.
It will be overturned.
It's immoral.
Not finished yet. Hold on.
An attack on anyone.
An attack on anyone.
For their religious beliefs.
For their religious beliefs.
Is an attack.
Is an attack
on the very foundation of democracy.
On the very foundation of democracy.
Now, can't you see some unwitting, gullible college kid in that crowd chanting after Elizabeth Warren? This, my friends, is the essence of progressive liberalism. We'll be talking about this in the next couple of days. Tomorrow we're going to talk about it. Today we're going to talk about this. But I have to tell you something. For this woman to launch this type of attack with these mindless individuals, because you absolutely have to be mindless to stand at JFK Airport with Elizabeth Warren and join in with this madness. Mindless. Absolutely mindless. But this is the way the nation could go. This is the way our young people could go if, in fact, you are not vigilant. The Pied Piper who pays for this tune, George Soros, must be very proud of Elizabeth. And as I said yesterday, if that's the face they want to put in front of the Democrat Party to run against Trump in 2020, do it. I hope they do. I hope even better it's Chuck Schumer. I hope it's Cory Booker. Because the same type of rhetoric that they have been launching for over 50 years now, America has proven in this last election that we're tired of the race baiting. Now, it may not seem that way when you look at the news and news media, because they do show a lot of the rioting and all of that. But the average you and me, black, white, red, whoever, indifference, yellow, red, whoever, indifferent, we're sick of it. Absolutely sick of it. But this is what I'm warning you against. Make sure that your child, your friends don't let friends chant behind Elizabeth Warren. If they continue to put her forward, if they continue to put Chucky Schumer forward, if they continue to put Cory Booker forward, and I hope they do, they will continue to lose. It's not going to stop. They have not learned the lesson. And that's okay. But just be aware that this is not going to go away. Now, I want to thank our friends at Chevyland, Tiger Axle, Subway, Yoakum Toyota, Grub Burger, and our newest sponsors, Black Hawk Residential Septic Service, Arklatex Water Garden, One Planet Solar, and Prime South Financial, along with Once Upon a Diamond. Hey, it's not too late to go visit Once Upon a Diamond. Valentine's Day, Tuesday. Hey guys, I don't care what you think about it. I've talked to a guy earlier today that says, hey, this Valentine's Day it's always rubs me the wrong way. I said, why? Because I always got to put out a lot of money. I said, you cheapskate. You cheapskate. You be sure to show the one that you love how much you love her. Go visit Once Upon a Diamond. I'm CL. Be right back. All right, this just in. The Ninth Circuit has just upheld the temporary restraining order blocking President Trump's executive order. That is, Mike Johnson is saying it's no surprise that the liberal Ninth Circuit has done that. Yeah. Immigration, as Mike goes on to say, immigration, as I have explained in numerous interviews this week, the Constitution and our federal statutes clearly grant the authority to the president. The White House should immediately appeal immediately. Yeah. That in from. Listen, let me tell you something. Not surprised. Not surprised, not surprised, not surprised at all. Hey, you know what? Pardon me. The Democrats have been wondering what's wrong. Wondering what's wrong. That's in from Rock and Rick. Democrats have been wondering what's wrong. They're still trying to figure out what went wrong in the presidential election. They're still trying to figure out why isn't Hillary president. Yeah, they're still trying to figure that out. Well, let me tell you what went wrong. Since they don't seem to know. Stuff like this. The lack of common sense is what went wrong. The lack of any type of indication that they're ready to move forward in different ways than they have over the last 60 years. That's what went wrong. I hope that they continue, as I've just said earlier. Pardon me. I hope that they continue to be this way because they will continue to lose. Now, granted, maybe this could have been handled a little bit better by the Trump administration. But again, Trump is not a politician. He is a businessman. He just takes care of the business. But he's going to have to learn how to blend it the same way as earlier today, Kellyanne Conway, gave a hint that she was going to go and buy some Ivanka Trump stuff because people like Nordstrom, Macy's, Neiman's were all jumping on the kick her out of our store mantra. So Kellyanne indicated that that we might go buy some Ivanka stuff. She was going to go buy some Ivanka stuff. Can't do that. There are some lessons that they will have to learn as they go down this political trail, because there is a reason why they call it politics, because it is. They call NFL football because it is. It's not anything other than that. It's not baseball or basketball. That's what the game is. The game is politics, even though you have a businessman at the helm of it. The game is politics, and there are some things that you do for political expediency, and one of them is not to give any hint that you're showing any type of favoritism to a product that a political candidate may be attached to or his family. They can't gain in that way. So that's just a very minor deal, no big deal, although the libs are going to make a huge, huge deal out of it. It's nothing. Now, how do we counter this? We counter this by making sure, as Mike Johnson has done, that everybody is aware that it is the Democrats who are being obstructionist in this matter. They are obstructing the protection of this nation by the duly elected president of the United States. The Ninth Circuit is known to be a liberal appeals court. They know, each one of those judges know that they were wrong. They know. But yet, they did it anyway. So, here we go. The news cycle is going to go crazy. Twitter world, gonna go crazy. But we're gonna get through this too. Michelle, what do you think?
I think that the stock for Ivanka Trump's clothing is going through the roof. I think there's a lot of controversy about it. I'm wearing Ivanka Trump tonight.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I'm defending her because the hypocrisy of women like Senator Warren should come to her defense as a woman. They're all about gender when it's women that agree with them. But the minute a beautiful, attractive, young businesswoman like Ivanka, who's successful, who should be a role model for young women in America, they totally come against her. Now, there is a question, though, that I do have. None of these clothes are made in the United States.
They're made in China.
Yeah, and Vietnam and all these other places. Now, there's something to be said for that. That's where this TPP thing came from, is that, you know, or to give people jobs in other countries.
Hold that thought. Hold that thought. We're going to be back in just a couple of minutes. I'm CL.
Ragged shirt and baggy pants. The old soft shoe. He jumped so high. He jumped so high. And then he lightly touched down.
So I was just
I met him in a sail in New Orleans. I was.
CL, back with you on this Thursday here in the jewel cities of the architects. And you were making a very good point there, Michelle, that I'll allude to for sure. You know, when you are making product in China, as Ivanka's line is made in China, and you're trying to get American business people to bring business back, you want to stay away from certain topics until you've made the break yourself. You really do. Not mad at him, not mad at DJT, not mad at him at all. Just saying. Just saying. That's the way you got to go about doing that to keep everything above board. Now, big business has now a president that will say, you did build that. You can build that. That's all about making the country great again. Is when the engine that drives the economy, business, is able to do business. When people are able to pursue happiness, and that's taking care of your business. That's part of your liberty. And a lot of times it becomes our life. Life, liberty, pursuit of happiness. And don't forget, that is given to us, as Thomas Jefferson said, by our Creator. Yeah, by our Creator. So big business now has a president that says, I mean, in the radio business, television, wherever you are, and the liberals can never appreciate this, that a president who understands that you can make money, that's good for Hollywood, as much as they hate him. That's good for radio, as much as they hate him. They hate the business president. But the whole thing that they're about is business. They're not about burning stuff down. That's bad for business. They're not about breaking the windows out of people's businesses, small businesses' windows. That's bad for business. Isn't it ironic that those moguls in Hollywood, those moguls on the radio, the moguls on television, even when you look at the hypocrisy of Google, you look at the hypocrisy of Facebook and companies like that who are against this administration, it seems as though they're against the very administration that's good for business. We talk about how do we give young people an inroad to doing better in life. Here is a president who has both succeeded and failed and then succeeded again. Can't think of a better example of someone who can direct and show young people how to get on the horse, ride it, fall off, and get back on it. That's exactly what has happened in this president's life. Now, business is one of those things. And in fact, the greatest wealth producing engine in the history of mankind has been the American free market, capitalism. Greatest wealth producing engine in history. But yet you have people like Elizabeth Warren. I'm going to play the chant for you a little bit later on, where she has these groups of people at JFK chanting behind her about letting illegals, aliens, into the country without being checked. People who could actually stymie business, because keep in mind, even though the planes were flown into the Twin Towers, there are a lot of jobs that also disappeared that day. There are people who would like to take us down. That is evident. And folks, don't buy into the idea that this is about keeping Muslims out of the country. You've heard me say on several occasions now that if that was the idea, Indonesia would be on the list. That's where most of the Muslim population has more Muslims living in Indonesia than any other country on earth. It's not on the list. Saudi Arabia, it's not on the list. Has more Arabs there than Saudi Arabia than anywhere else. It's not on the list. So don't buy into the idea that this is about religion. It's not. It's about countries, 7 of them, that President Obama himself identified. And he and Trump had this conversation before the transition of power took place. The question was, what countries do I need to look out for? The president's answer, President Obama, Barack Obama at that time, his answer was Syria, Libya, Iraq, Sudan, and 3 others that I can't rattle off the top of my head. Watch out for them. And so this was something that these were countries that were already identified. And so here we are with this judge, the Ninth Circuit upholding this judge in Seattle, Washington, and the president being stymied from doing what he knows is best to protect our country. It's an alternate universe, folks. I'll be back. Bishop Larry Brandon when I return.
Broadcasting from the Bayou State and all around the Gulf Coast and streaming nationwide. This is the C.L. Bryant Show.
Welcome back, everyone, throughout the fruited plains of the greatest nation on the face of the earth, the greatest success story the world has ever known, and that is America. One of our native sons here in our nation is on with me now. He has an extensive resume right here locally. We see that our relatives very well could have crossed paths out there in Oakland, where he hails from. He is from originally Oakland, California, but now he is a pillar of the community here in Shreveport and throughout the Arklatex. The pastor of Praise Temple. He is the chair of the Shreveport Airport Authority, and he is a member of Shreveport Downtown Rotary. But it doesn't stop there. There is something that is burning in his heart right now, and that is to do something for seemingly, at times, some of the most troubled in our community, to keep them from going further astray. Joining me is Pastor Larry Brandon. Bishop Brandon, thank you so much for being here with me.
Thank you so much. And you can even call me Brother Brandon. I'm good. I appreciate it. Thank you so much, Brother Brian, for having me. And it's a joy. Of course, this is not my first time being on the show. I think you were on vacation in Florida somewhere.
Yeah.
You were traveling and well-needed vacation.
Yeah,
in fact, I'm just coming back from a 30-day sabbatical.
Bless your heart.
We celebrate at Praise Temple 25 years in March of
Has
church
it
anniversary.
been that long?
Can you believe it?
Wow.
25 years. So
Bless
I
your
haven't
heart.
taken really a break or sabbatical. And the Lord spoke to my spirit in October. I'm a doctoral student at Oral Roberts University.
Bless your heart.
Well, thank you.
Up in Tulsa. I've gone up there.
Tulsa, Oklahoma, yes.
Debbie Sweeten. I'm on her show every once in a while.
Okay,
There to warn you.
great. Yeah, so while I was there, the Lord spoke to my spirit to go on sabbatical, and so I took 30 days, and it was a bet at the church. And can you believe we bet at the church? It was a bet that he's not coming. He's going to show. He's going to show. And some said he's not coming back. Then others says he's going to show before the 30 days. And I held to it. 30 days.
Good
I did
for you.
not. Yes.
Good for
and
you.
it was great. And I thought about you because the last 3 days I took the vacation. I ended up in Miami Beach, South Beach.
Yeah, man.
Yes, indeed. Love it.
Oh, yeah. It's
Love
beautiful.
Ocean Avenue.
You know what? Southern California,
Yes.
and Southern Florida,
Yes.
South Florida. I could stay in either one.
Oh, you and me both.
Yeah.
Of course, we're from Oakland,
Yeah.
California.
Yeah.
But we love California.
Oh,
I'm
man,
telling you.
yeah. Wish they all. But now tell us about the new project, the L.L. Brandon III
Yes.
project that you have going on. Tell us
Sure.
about that.
Oh, I'm so excited about the L.L. Brandon III Transitional Home for Boys, and of course, it's a housing for homeless boys, and our model is from our housing to college housing.
All right.
This is it's a great opportunity for us to really serve our community,
Yeah.
and that's what it's all about. I believe in it, and it's so important to serve our community. And there's some boys, and I share with our staff, we have to operate with a sense of urgency because there's some boys out there that don't have another day. So we can't sleep on this and sit on this because I believe, as you do, that men are protectors of the family.
Yeah.
And if we don't have our men in position, we have a lot of programs for the ladies. I mean, the girls, but then we don't find too many programs for the young boys. Now, if we want them to be boys to men or boys to gentlemen, we're raising up ladies, but we have very few gentlemen.
Bishop, you said something that is very important for us to understand, and that is that we have men who are out of position.
Absolutely. Out of position, out of touch, and you name it. And it's because many of them didn't have certain opportunities, and there are those who've had the opportunities but slept on and didn't want to take the opportunities. And that's why I'm going to be hands-on with this in the lives of the boys. When they come to us, college will not be an option. They're going to.
Going to college.
Yeah, absolutely. Some say, well, college is not an option for everyone. Well, how do you know? You never attended. Go
Right.
first and then decide if it's not an option
That's
for
what
you.
my son did. My son went down to, it was at Southern. And, of course, I was wanting to be governor of the state, and so forth. But he found out that his talent, now he's making monster. He makes these high-profile trucks, making a
Wow,
killing
see,
down in Baton Rouge.
see.
Came to me one day, Bishop, and said, Dad, this college thing isn't for me.
Yes,
I
see.
know what I can make money at.
Wow,
And that's
see.
what he went for. But if he hadn't gone,
He had to go first.
he had to go and see.
And
2
that's
years.
important.
Yeah.
That's important because there are those who should have gone
Yeah.
to college, and there are those who go to college and find out, no, I fit best here. And that's good. That's okay. You can find yourself. So that's
Exactly.
important. So we're going to push these boys. In fact, we're decorating now and making sure that we have pennants from different universities. We have some on order from Harvard, Howard.
Good.
Dillard University, Southern, of course, Grambling.
Yeah.
And you name it. Some of the other
You're
Ivy
putting it
League-
in front of 'em.
Optics is important because
Absolutely.
we want you to see. This is your home, and we want you to see this on a daily basis, that this room, you pretend as if it's a dorm room.
Yeah.
Because that's where you're headed.
So it's
You're going to
transitional.
college.
It's a transitional.
Transitional
Now, are
home
these
for
young
boys.
men basically coming from homeless situations? What are the age groups?
Well, the age groups is from 13 to 17, and they're coming from situations. The Department of Child and Family Services and OJJ, we're working the application process. We have our license, and I'm grateful to God for that. We're ready to operate, so we're working through that next hurdle. So we'll be working with OJJ, and there are those who've already called us. We're ready for our boys. Some parents have called. We're ready for our boys to come. Our boys are out of hand.
Yeah.
We need a hand.
Yeah.
We've had a young man. I didn't meet him personally, but one of our workers, Arthur Burns, met this young man, walked up and said he was, I think, 15 years old, and said that, hey, can I stay here tonight?
Wow. Wow.
And of course, someone asks, you take runaways. Well, if they come to us, they have to go through the process because we don't want to be accused of harboring.
Right.
But they have to go through the process. But we're ready and willing to serve any and every young man that there is to meet the needs.
How many are you capable of serving?
Initially, we'll begin with at least 50 minimum to get started. We're licensed for, I believe, 185.
You're going to be overrun real soon.
Yes, indeed. And we're looking forward to it. And we're hiring now. And believe it or not, we've had 500 applicants.
Wow.
500 people to apply.
You're already overrun.
When I say applicants for employment.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
because
see.
again, I shared with our church, and of course, this is led by the Northwest Louisiana Community Development Corporation. You can go to Northwest Louisiana CDC.org for additional information. But with our corporation, I share with our church Sunday as we collaborate with our corporation. This is not only helping boys, but it's helping our economy.
Awesome.
We're providing employment opportunities.
yeah.
And we want them to look at it as a career, not a job.
That is what I've always admired about you, Pastor, is
Well,
that
thank
you
you.
were very entrepreneurial.
Oh, well, thank you.
And
That's so
that is
important.
the example that our community has been lacking in so many ways. You have provided outlets for people to express themselves
Yeah,
in an
thank you.
entrepreneurial
Yes.
way, not in a way where it is taking away from the community, but you're giving to
back
the community.
Absolutely, and that's so important. I've always heard, we need a hand up, not a hand out.
Exactly.
And that is so important to me. I was a 10-year Air Force veteran.
Yeah.
I served the military.
Thank you for your service.
Well, thank you so much. And we talked about, remember bootstraps. Pull yourself up by the bootstraps.
Yes, sir.
And that's important because oftentimes I think we've become very complacent. Or just plain lazy.
Yeah.
And so we need people in our lives to give us that boost. And I've challenged. In fact, I have a young lady who's.
Hold that thought, Bishop. Hold that thought. When we come
Okay,
back,
sure.
I want to hear what has motivated Bishop Larry Brandon to the point of his life where he is now when we return. I think it'll be absolutely inspiring.
Well, thank you.
I'm CL. Don't go anywhere.
We don't have no plastic LA friends. Ain't on the edge of no popular trend. Ain't never seen the
CL, back with you on this Thursday, the jeweled cities of the Arklatex is where the show is emanating from. That's Shreveport and Vosges. I want to welcome aboard our friends in southern Arkansas, East Texas, and all around the Gulf Coast area of Louisiana, and streaming live throughout the greatest nation on the face of the earth. Download the free CL Bryant Show app onto your iPhone or Android device. And if you want to know anything about the show, go to our website, TheCLBryantShow.com. Now, when we left, I was on with a new friend of mine.
Yes, indeed.
Pastor of Praise Temple. And he is the chair of Shreveport Airport Authority and a member of Shreveport Downtown Rotary. And he has an incredible new program, L.L. Brandon III Transitional Home for Boys. And I have a feeling that is going to make a difference here in Shreveport, Louisiana, for a lot of boys to determine their choices for the future. But I want, Pastor Brandon, I want you to share with us what was the motivation of, before you were bishop,
Yes.
before you were Pastor Brandon, before you were the chair of the airport authority and all of that, what was your motivation? Because I know you understand where the hood is.
Yes.
Because we've talked about that.
Yes,
I have
indeed.
cousins from where
Yes,
you're
indeed.
from.
And as we would say, the West Coast is the best coast.
Yeah, absolutely. And none of that East Coast stuff.
Right. But Southeast, though, Miami.
I like it. I do like that.
Sister Michelle.
But your motivation, what started you on the trail to where you are?
Well, of course, as you stated, raised in Berkeley, East Oakland family all over, spent my summers in East Oakland enjoying cousins and grandparents and what have you. You know, I noticed how many of my family, I can talk about my family, were settling. Mm-hmm. They were just settling for whatever and robbing Peter to pay Paul.
Yeah.
You know, begging and living off the system and what have you. And I was disturbed by it. So when I turned 18, I went to college, and then of course I had a job, but I promised my parents, I thank God for my dad and my mom, and incidentally, my dad, he's with the Lord, but he's actually my great uncle. My mom is my great aunt who raised me. My biological father, Larry Sr., thank God, 2 years before he passed, he accepted Christ, but he was a pimp. Yeah, and a dope dealer, and my mother, she was young and she was on the streets, and I thought about all of that, and I made a decision. It was a choice.
You made a choice.
I made a decision. I made a choice. My choice was better than this.
Wow.
And I said, my daddy said, and I decided to join the Air Force because I wanted fast pace. Yeah. And I wanted an opportunity. So I share with my dad, used to say, hey, son, whenever I die, you make sure you take care of mama. And he kept saying to me, he said, a man is supposed to take care of household. A man is supposed to do this and take responsibility for himself. And so I decided then, after hearing Dad turning 18, I said, I will never ask my dad and mom for another dime.
I love it.
And it's not because I couldn't. I
understand.
I could have. They loved me so.
I understand.
And my mom's today, I mentioned it in one church, one service, celebrating her. I said, Mom, remember I told you at 18, you and Dad? And she verified with everyone. When I turned 18, I didn't ask for a dime. Anything.
I love it.
And so I joined the Air Force. I began to send monies home. Not that they need it, but I just wanted to know, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
That's
you.
what that said.
Absolutely. That's
exactly.
what I said, thank you. And so I decided then, no, No, I'm gonna take personal responsibility. I didn't want to live on the system. I don't want to beg, borrow, and steal. I didn't want to do all of that. So I made a decision to better myself, and that's with that same energy, I'm pouring into my sons.
I see it.
And even my 10-year-old, he'll turn 11. Elijah. And I'm
Elijah's
grateful.
right here with
And,
us.
yes, indeed.
Yeah.
And I share with him his brother, and of course his sister. Girls, daddy, little girl.
Sure.
But for the men, we're protectors of the family, and we have to take responsibility in being providers, whatever it takes, positively.
I
Whatever it takes.
love this, because this is the face of a community, and this is the core value of a community that has always had these core values.
Yes.
This
yes.
is not anything. I know 95% of my audience happens to be white. There's no question about that. They're conservative and they're white. And this is the thing, Pastor Brandon, is that most people around the country, when they think of the black community, they don't think of the core values that your parents passed
family.
on to you.
Yes.
But that is exactly
absolutely
what has been lost.
Yes.
That we are trying to recapture in the community. That's what I talk about every day. But sometimes,
and when you say it's lost, you're right, because between my parents' generation and my generation, I mean, after my generation, there's been a loss of responsibility.
Yeah.
There's a sense of entitlement.
Yeah.
You owe me something.
Exactly.
You owe this.
Right.
And no, I don't owe you anything but love.
Exactly.
But to love you, that's it.
Right.
But this next generation, these young people, they have a sense of entitlement. Give me. I need this. My son will tell you, hey, you want something around the house, you're going to have to work.
Work for it.
You got to do something.
Absolutely.
My son in college, I thank God for him. I say, hey, you got to do some things. You got to work for it. You're not going to freeload.
I like it.
And so when they become men,
Yeah.
then they'll have that same passion, that energy, and they'll teach their children.
They'll pass it on.
And they'll pass it on. And that's what's important. And so you're right. Within our community, we have those who have family values. We believe in family. We believe in personal responsibility.
Right.
But sometimes we base the many off of a few.
Off of the few, of what they see.
Absolutely.
And tomorrow's show, we'll be talking about this because, of course, it is Black History Month.
Yes.
And I often say this wherever I am in the nation, talking or what have you. When you see black folks, you're seeing the best of those who survived slavery.
Yes.
And you're seeing people who have the DNA to survive, and be successful and thrive because we survived slavery in this country, and we're still thriving. And so that is the message that many times when guys like you and I come around, that's what they miss about us.
Yes.
They miss the story because they see the glory now, but they don't
see
understand.
glory, but don't know our story.
Exactly.
You don't know our story, but you see our glory. You're right.
We're going to be back. We're going to be back. Pastor Larry Brandon, when I return. CL, back on this Thursday evening, and just having a real ball blast here with Pastor Brandon. We were
I'm enjoying
talking.
it. I'm telling you
about our core values, Pastor.
Yes,
and things that maybe even we have forgotten.
Yeah, absolutely.
That we have and what we have contributed to this country, and it's lost in the politics. I understand that. We're not going to get into that, but this is the thing that I am appreciating so much about you and what you're doing, and that is the idea behind L.L. Brandon III Transitional Home for Boys. Now, we can't leave this without talking about L.L. Brandon III.
Yeah, thank you.
Tell me about your son.
Well, of course, my motivation is through this home is to take back what the devil has stolen from me. My son was killed, apparent robbery, and they haven't found the murderer, his murderer. And I wrote a book entitled Treasures in the Darkness. And, you know, you can go to Amazon.com, is there, but Holding on to Faith, Letting Go to Pain. Because in March of 2009, would be a day, a month I will never forget, on the 19th, when I received a text message from my brother, and he said, Larry's, a text message. He says, little Larry's dead. Little Larry's dead. And I'm thinking, now, it has to be a joke. What is going on? So I called my mother, you know, and of course she was living in California at the time. And she verified. She said, yes, Larry was killed and blah, blah. And I just held the phone, and I hung up and said, Mom, I'll call you back. And I broke. Wow. And I got myself together because I had to go minister. Yeah. So I continued, got myself together, went ministered. Wow. Didn't tell anybody. I called my wife and said, babe, pull the children together. Don't answer the phones. I got something to share with you that's very important. Don't answer the phone, because I didn't want them to find out, you know, that way. I said, I just shared briefly what happened. She said, oh, no. I said, just pull the children together. And, of course, they were their age at that time. Wow. And I went and ministered. Didn't tell anybody anything. Finished ministered. Amazing. Went home, shared, and the children, of course, cried. Elijah was just looking. He was too small then. Yeah. You know, he's 3 years old. Yeah. Just turned 3. Yeah. Yeah. And so from that point, we went to of course, California, buried my son, what have you. But from that point, I was really angry with the Lord. Yeah. I said, I'm here helping to get people saved, delivered, and helping people to be better citizens for our community. And I said, Lord, how did you allow this to happen in my household? Yeah. Yeah. And so I was grieving, and the Lord allowed me to see a scripture, Psalm 61, verse 1. When my heart is overwhelmed, lead me to the rock that's higher. Oh, my. And so I wrote the book, and while writing that book, I said, I'm going to go back and get what the devil has stolen. Someone else, parent, won't have to experience this if I have anything to do with it. Love it. So hence, we have the L.L. Brandon III Transitional Home for Boys, named after my late son, because we're going after other boys, other men, to give them an opportunity. And then there are those who need that nurturing and that mentoring, and that's so important, because just because you have a weekend seminar for 15 minutes, that's not mentorship. Right. Mentorship is walking alongside. I often say, I can't remember who said it, but thou shalt not steal. But you don't want to. But you know what I mean. But I'm not a sage on the stage, but I'm a guy on the side. Very good. I want to help walk alongside of you. My son, he's a golfer, and I play at it. I don't play, but I play at it. I'm still dog laden. But when he started, I talked to him about the game, taught him the game, but then I also trained him, because all teaching is not training, but all training is teaching. This is true. And so I showed him, held his hand, and guided him on the swing and the putt and what have you. And so that's true mentorship, and that's what I'm going to be with these boys and other leaders. We're going to be hands-on. Very good. We're just not going to teach them and say, hey, go play PlayStation or something like that, but we're going to be involved in their lives. I've never been fishing. I'm going fishing with these boys.
Go fishing.
Yes, indeed.
When my son, I may have to bring my son Chris up here because he is the world champion fisherman.
Is he?
Oh yeah, we have a place down in Grand Cane,
Do
and he
you?
knows every
Wow.
fishing hole
Oh,
there is. He would bring home 5-gallon buckets of
Oh,
big
wow.
mouth bass, man.
Wow.
This kid could pull them out, and so he can mentor you. He can just mentor
Well,
you
good.
on
I've
how
never
to catch
gone
fish.
fish because I wanted to take my son and some other. We've developed in Rodessa a campground that has small lake on it with fish in it, but we have to finish up and raise funds for that. But I wanted to take some of the boys and inner city children fishing. Some never been fishing. They've
Wow.
never been the area to see chickens running around and whatever.
Wow.
And also, I'm big on agriculture. I haven't planted since I was a boy. My daddy used to have a little small garden.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I want to begin a community garden to teach the children how to grow vegetables,
Yeah.
vegetation, and what have you. Giving them an experience because, as you and I know, we travel.
Yeah.
We're able to dream bigger.
Yeah.
But if you have not been exposed to bigger,
Right.
how can you dream bigger? And this is what I want to do, to give these boys an opportunity to dream bigger, but we got to expose them, and I'm going to make sure we expose them.
Pastor Bishop Larry Brandon has been my guest, and it has been an absolute thrill, pleasure
Oh, I'm
to be
honored.
here with you.
pleasure
Going to have you
is
back often. We see bigger, so we're able to dream
Absolutely.
bigger. You show
Absolutely.
it. We've seen it.
Absolutely.
It's out there. It's a huge world out there.
There's
folks.
a
It really
big
is.
world out
Yeah,
there,
yeah.
a huge world.
It's huge.
And we need to take advantage of it.
Absolutely.
And see, my son, thank God, and your son, we're able to take them. They travel. Your son's growing up. They travel. But there's other community youth have never been outside of Shreveport.
Elijah, grow up straight and strong. I know you will. I know you will. God bless and keep you both.
God bless you. Thank you.
I'm CL. We're going to be back in just a few minutes to continue our discussion on this Thursday. Bye now. CL. Thursday, here in the jeweled cities of the Arklatex. Had a lot of fun there with Pastor Brandon and shared a lot of things that, wow, it's amazing how your core values. And sometimes, folks, let me tell you, you just take some things for granted. Some things are just taken for granted. And we'll talk more about that as we go down the road. Now, for instance, Senator Tim Scott, one of only, I think, 6, maybe 7 senators, black senators, ever to have been in the United States Senate. Tim Scott, South Carolina, friend of mine. I know Tim very well. I'll talk about an entrepreneur. He's one. Single parent family, grew up with a mother who kept an eye on him and watched over him and took care of him as far as that was concerned. And Tim Scott came out in defense of Jeff Sessions, who is now, well, Senator Jeff Sessions, who is now Attorney General Jeff Sessions. Well, the progressive liberal mantra on Jeff Sessions was that he was and is a racist. Now, I've met Senator Sessions on 2 occasions and had an extensive conversation with him on 2 occasions, along with about 4 or 5 others. Got a chance to question him myself, talk to him. This has been a couple of years ago, a few years back. I'm a Southerner, okay? Have roots everywhere around the country. Have people, cousins and everything all around the country. But I'm a Southerner. I grew up here in the South. And I understand Southern people, blacks and whites in particular, because that's basically all we have to deal with here in the South is, when I was growing up anyway, we only had to deal with blacks and whites. It was basically what it was. That's what it was. And I honestly believe, and you can call me crazy for saying it, but I honestly believe that healing for this nation, will come from the South. Why do I say that? I say that because we in the South understand things about ourselves, pardon me, that other people from like Chicago or New York City, California, don't understand about human nature and how to get along. Don't understand that. And so we have, through it all, through the bad times, the good times, the what have you, times that have come along in America, we here in the South have still persevered and gotten along. We have. I believe that healing for our nation must come from the South, because we have been so vilified by the rest of the country, first of all, for the way we talk. Then secondly, because of our history. And thirdly, because of our Southern way of life. There is no place as laid back as the South. No place as laid back as the South. There's no lifestyle in this country like living in the South. That's why all of the people from the North East, and the West, where are they flocking to? The South. Now, when they get here, of course, they do, in fact, seem to want to act as though they are in cultural shock. And I imagine maybe they are, because we are somewhat different here. But when you go about calling somebody a racist, like Jeff Sessions, who came through a certain period of time, and then you have a black senator like Tim Scott, who defends this man, and because he defends him, as I would have myself, and will be defending him tomorrow night. I'm scheduled to be on Hannity tomorrow night. I will be defending him too. And those people who have come out against Tim Scott, they come out because there's a certain way that they believe a black man ought to behave himself. There's a certain way a black man ought to talk about somebody from Alabama who happens to be named Jeff Sessions. And that, my friends, is in fact the most racist thing that can possibly be laid out. And that is for someone to expect a person just because of their color to behave in a certain way. I want to talk to you more about that when I return. I'm CL. CL, back with you on this Thursday evening. Now, before I go to my next guest, I want to finish my little statement that I was making to you about my good friend Tim Scott. We do not. Now, I'll be on Hannity tomorrow night. We're going to do this, and I'm going to be talking about the new Attorney General, Jeff Sessions. And I'm going to be defending him. I tell you right now, I'm going to be defending him. And I'm going to tell you right now, as I have told you, that I do believe that healing in this country, racial healing, what have you, healing in this country will come from the South. It will come from the South. Because we as Southerners, white or black, regardless of what it is, we eat the same foods. We believe God basically the same. Football is religion, all of that type of stuff. We have the same type of core values here in the South. And it gives us a certain kinship that you don't find in Chicago, you don't find in New York City, you don't find in California for sure. You find it in the South. And so, yes, I will be on Sean tomorrow night. Tune us in. I think Hannity comes on here 9 o'clock at night. So tune us in, 9 o'clock Central. Be on with Sean. And Jeff's session, this foolishness that is going on in this country right now, it has to come to an end. And it will come to an end. Why? Because people are tired of this. I'm sick to death of it. That's all the progressive liberals have left, is to keep the emotionalism of race stirred up so they can keep certain people in line, whether they're progressive liberals, whether they're blacks, whether they're Latino. Doesn't matter. They just need to keep a voting bloc in line. That's why they come out against people like Tim Scott. That's why they call him ugly names. That's why they invoke the name of Coretta Scott King, because it pulls an emotional trigger that they know has worked for years and years and years. And I don't know if any of you have ever been in a codependent relationship, but as a pastoral counselor for over 30 years, I can tell you this. That can be a very sick relationship. And what the Democrats have in place right now is a codependent relationship with a voting bloc. And they have told this voting bloc, whether they're Latino, whether they're black, or whether they're progressive liberals, you can't make it without me. Nobody wants you but me. That is a sick relationship. Any relationship that's based on coercion through emotional leverage is a sick relationship. And that's the type of relationship that progressive liberals, black people, Latinos have had with the Democrat Party for over 50 years. And it gets sicker every time you watch it. This story gets even more convoluted every time you see it. I can't wait to see what happens next. Now that they've stymied the president once again on his ability to protect the country against those coming into the country, that we don't know who's coming in. We haven't vetted them. We don't know who they are. And the president of the United States, his number one job is to make certain that we don't let people in that'll kill us. But yet the progressive liberals stand in the way of the president to do that. Why are they doing that? It's because the idea of those poor Muslims is all they got. The emotionalism of that is all they got. But as I told you earlier, I hope that Elizabeth Warren, I hope that Chuck Schumer, I hope that Cory Booker, and Bernie Sanders, whoever else. I hope they continue doing what they're doing, because if they do, they will continue to lose. Yeah, we're tired of it. And this last presidential election, this last vote that we did in this country on November 8th, 2016, was proof that we're sick of it. They can't accept it, though. They can't accept it. They don't know what to do with themselves. And so they're running around starting fires. Isn't that sad? You don't know what to do with yourself. You can't accept a loss. And so you're going to burn stuff down. You're going to make sure that if you can't have it, nobody else can. Isn't that the most childish thing that you can possibly imagine? Yes, it is.
2 minutes.
Now, folks, coming up in the show is Robin Champagne. And I want to tell you something. Write this down. Write this down. And yes, I'm struggling through, pardon me, struggling through a cold. But it's going to be all right. Write this down. Drink-keto.com. If you are overweight, if in fact you feel like you want to lose some weight, maybe not in time for Valentine's Day, because Valentine's Day is Tuesday. But if you had known about this before now, oh, you could have been in good. You could have been looking good. Both of you, male and female, you could have been looking good come Valentine's Day. Jay, I'm going to get you some, Jay. I'm going to get you some.
I
Michelle?
just like the way, it's funny how you say look good.
Good, man.
Yeah, that's what I want.
Yeah, man. Don't we all want to look good? Yeah, man. And so, drink-keto.com. And I'm going to have Robin Champagne coming up here in the next, after the top of the hour, to tell us more about this. I'm doing it, and I tell you something. I let myself run out. And I have to call Robin. I said, Robin, I'm trying to get on and get it. So she orders it for me, and yada yada. But hey, I have lost inches. I've lost weight. I'm telling you, I have. I feel good, sharp. I just wonder if it helps you get rid of colds, because that's what I got. I'm CL. I'll be back in just a minute.
I've been in the right place.
Broadcasting from the Bayou State and all around the Gulf Coast and streaming nationwide. This is the C.L. Bryant Show.
CL back with you on this Thursday evening here in the jeweled cities of the Arklatex, Shreveport, and Bossier. Hey, folks, let me got to do this before we bring on Robin Champagne. I got to do this. I have with me Colby Bledsoe, who is the campaign manager for my parent company in Washington, D.C. I'm a senior fellow with them in Washington, D.C. FreedomWorks, freedomworks.org. Go to freedomworks.org. There is an incredible event that is coming up on March 15th, and Colby Bledsoe is here to tell us all about it. Colby, welcome back to the C.L. Bryant Show.
Thanks, CL. Great to be back. So yeah, really excited to announce our event that's coming up. You know, it's a lot of new energy, new administration. Everybody's excited, but we're starting to see that slow down a little bit. We're starting to see it stall on some key issues, things like Obamacare, things even like tax reform. And so what we're doing, what FreedomWorks is doing, is we're going to bring activists into D.C. on March 15th for a day of action. It's going to be a great crowd. We're going to have some great speakers. And what we're going to do is storm Congress. We're going to go in. We're going to go lobby our legislators and tell them that we want them to act. That the people in November, they spoke very loudly, very clearly, that they wanted Obamacare to be repealed.
Yeah.
They wanted, tax reform, that they wanted a conservative on the Supreme Court, and we're gonna go in and have people lobby their legislators, do what the founding fathers wanted people to be able to do. Go into Washington and do that. So March 15th. Anyone who wants more information, it's stormcongress.com.
Stormcongress.com. Stormcongress.com. Let me ask you this. Now, some of the concern in this country right now is that the Republicans are showing signs of dragging their feet, Colby. And so is this one of those moves that FreedomWorks is taking to make sure that they stay in the path that they told us they would take? Is this a part of that purpose?
That's exactly what this is, Theo. You know very well we at FreedomWorks, we do not mind giving the Republicans a kick from time to time.
Right.
We're going to stand up to them. We're going to tell them, look, you guys, you made promises, you made campaign promises when you were running. Now's the time to cash those in. Now's the time to act. Now's the time not to drag your feet. So that's exactly what this event is.
Absolutely right. And how many are we expecting to come up?
So that's the great thing about this is we're going to have we're going to have a good crowd there. I don't want to give numbers right now. But we've had a great response. We already have hundreds of people signed up, and the crowd is building every single day. The important thing is we're this isn't just a rally. This isn't just a march. We're gonna have great speakers. They're gonna fire the crowd up, but then from there, people are going into these congressional office buildings. They're gonna go meet with their legislators. They're gonna go ask them why they're not following through with their campaign promises. So some of these groups will be smaller. If it's a state like Texas and it's a long drive, and then some of them in Virginia and Pennsylvania and the states close by, they're going to have massive groups storming the halls, wanting to know why they don't have Obamacare repealed, why they don't have tax reform yet.
And the beauty of this, folks, is that these are concerned Americans who are coming up on their own dime. Colby, let's talk about here, the time that we have left, why it is important to repeal Obama.
No,
why is it important to repeal Obamacare from a FreedomWorks perspective?
There's plans coming out now. Bill Cassidy came out with a plan along with Susan Collins that all it is it's Obamacare 2.0. That's all it is. It just keeps everything in place. The state likes Obamacare, they can keep it. It keeps all the taxes all the funding, in the same place. So what we need to do is rally around these plans, like Senator Rand Paul's, and there's a few others that are floating around out there that repeal it away. It gets rid of all the mistakes in Obama's healthcare plan, and we start from scratch. And the free market initiatives that are driving it, and some of these more conservative plans. So that's the only way we're going to have a realistic healthcare system in this country. It's these common sense.
A realistic. I like the way you put that. A realistic healthcare system.
We have to look and see what we can actually accomplish and how what are some easy steps we can make. So things like being able to buy plans across state lines, expanding how much money you can put into HSAs. It's simple things like that that haven't been done. And there's no reason they can't be done now.
Well, Kobe, I want to thank you for being on with me. Got to have you back at least once a month. You or somebody from the organization at least once a month. We got to have you back. But listen, I'll be up there to join in the festivities of making sure that we defeat and dismantle Obamacare. God bless and keep you guys. I'll see you soon.
Absolutely. Hey, thank you, CL. See you March 15th.
Thank you. CL back on this Thursday evening, and joining me now is Robin Champagne. She is a nurse, but she has a product that I definitely swear to. Why? Because it has worked for me. Now, you can go to drink-keto.com, drink-keto.com, and you can find out how to get something that I think is absolutely amazing. But here to tell you a little bit more about it in more detail, because she is actually welding the new magazine. It is called Hacked. Robin, does that mean, what does that mean?
Well, basically, it is a magazine that tells you why your body is being hacked and how it's being hacked with the ketones. It's a good thing. Biohacking has been around forever with the Atkins diet and all of these, where you would actually have to starve yourself to death to get into ketosis. With our little powder, you drink it, you put it in some water, drink it, and you're actually in ketosis within an hour.
Wow.
So just in minutes.
Now, when we talk about being in a state of ketosis, we're talking about it being in a state where your body naturally burns off the fat itself. What are we talking about?
Right. You either burn fat or you burn carbs. And we all know that if you're eating sugar, you crash really rapidly and then you want more, so you eat more. And you get into a situation where you can't quite ever catch up. With ketones, you're actually burning the ketones. It takes your fat and creates a fuel source. If you don't have fat, then it's still going to work with your body's chemistry.
Very good. Very good. And so you are saying that our bodies have been hacked.
Right. You're actually born in a state of ketosis. When you're born, your body's in ketosis. That's the native state that we all want to be in. So this actually brings you back to that state of
ketosis.
Right.
A natural state that we're actually brought into this world in a state of balance.
Absolutely.
So over a period of time, we get out of balance.
We do. Once carbs are introduced, once sugars are introduced, and once our food pyramid is introduced, that's when we get out of sync.
Now, how long has this been around?
It's actually based on evidence and research that's been around since, well, over 100 years.
No kidding.
Absolutely. This product is the first of its kind. They could not find a way to actually make drinkable ketones until my company developed this product with Dr. Dom D'Agostino.
Yeah.
He is a researcher in Florida, and he's one of our top people with this. The Hacked magazine and all of our, you can actually go online, and there's so much information. If you look up Dom D'Agostino.
Dom D'Agostino. And let me ask you this. Now, there are several websites that we are to go to. And let me see here. I have them here that you have sent them to me.
Where do we go to? All of them will actually take you to the same website. So you can actually go to drink-keto.com. Drink-keto.com will take you to the website. There's a learner video there. It's a little fireside chat video. It's a cartoon. Kind of strange, but it'll explain how it works.
Now, and also see shopketo.com and keto-me.com.
Right. I've created a few different ones to just make it easier for people to remember.
Now, now you write this down. I'm going to tell everybody out there, write this down, because now I know that you want to look good. I know you do. That's the thing in America today, is looking good.
Absolutely.
Being trim and slim. And you were showing me in this magazine. Now, is this a magazine that people can get or order themselves? Or
at this point, they cannot get it through themselves, but they can get it through someone like me.
I see.
And I'm very happy to supply the magazine because it's got so much information in it. We've got Dr. Dom D'Agostino, and all of our doctors have articles in here as to what the research is and why this product works.
It's the real deal, folks. I'm telling you, Jane and I both understand that this is the real deal. Now, write this down. I'm sure you've had time to get your pen. Write this down. You want to get it. Drink-keto.com, shop-keto.com, keto-me, M-E, keto-me.com. Robin, they can go to any one of those.
All of them will take you to the same site.
And they can order
Absolutely.
from there. Valentine's Day is coming up, and I have been told, I have been advised that it's not too late to start losing weight over the weekend for Valentine's Day. And hey, I'm telling you that it's going to work for you. It's going to work. Robin, when we think about all of the weight loss programs that are out there, why is this so unique?
Because it's not a weight loss program. This has everything to do with building your body up, restructuring your body from the inside, giving your body the nutrients it needs to burn the fat and bring your body back into the form it should be. You get energy, you can lose chronic pain. It's not about the weight loss. There's so many
that's
things.
True. That's true. Let me tell you about the chronic pain, folks. I always like to tell people about
Absolutely.
this. I'll be back. I'll tell you about it right before we close out. But we've been on with Robin Champagne. Stay right there. Going to be right back in just a couple of minutes. I'm CL.
I come from the water. I crawled up on the shore. I left my brothers there. I got what I came for. I stopped that hot air in and rolled up on the sand. And burned.
One, two, 1, 2, 3.
CL back to close it out here with Robin Champagne. And we have been talking about keto. And before we go, Robin, you have got to tell the folks, because I know they wrote it down. I know they did. Got to tell them one more time, in case they missed it. How do they get a hold of you? How do they get a hold of keto?
You can go to the website drink-keto.com. You can email me there. You can watch the video there and learn more about the products. I'm accessible through that site.
And folks, I was going to tell you my story about my knee. Hurt my knee way back in football days in high school. I could tell the weather by this knee. Since I was doing the keto, the knee stopped hurting. It stopped popping the way it normally did. My wife has the same story about her fingers and wrist. It is the real deal. I am telling you, it is the real deal. So you be sure to go to drink-keto.com, shop-keto.com, keto-me.com. Now, you're going to come back next month.
I'll be happy to.
A month from today, I want to have lost 15 pounds. I know I can do it because I've lost nearly that much in just a little over a month now. So I'm going to lose 15 more pounds. I'm going to be accountable to you. And next month, bring the scales.
Okay.
Bring the scales. I'm going to weigh. I'm going to weigh. And so forth. And Michelle, we got everybody in here. Everybody in here. Jay's going to be on it.
We're going to be all 15 pounds.
Yeah. We're all going to be svelte. That's the word, isn't it? Svelte.
Yes.
We're all going to be very svelte. And we're going to be looking good and headed for the summer.
Absolutely.
Because summer is coming. In fact, I don't think the summer ever left. It's been so hot here these last couple of days. All this school last night. Robin, thank you so much for coming in. And we're going to have you on next month. God bless and keep you.
Great. Thank you so much for having me.
You betcha. Well, folks, keep an eye on the ball. And remember what Thomas Jefferson told us. The price of our liberty is eternal vigilance. The price of our liberty is eternal vigilance. We always have to be on guard. We always have to be watching for those things that would steal away our American privileges as citizens of the greatest nation on the face of the earth, the greatest success story the world has ever known. That is America. I want to thank God for bringing us to the close of yet another day, and I want to thank Him for our men and women in uniform who defend our right to speak our mind. And until I'm able to talk to you again, I'm CL, and may God bless and keep you all.
For all you sacrificed to keep freedom alive, and to the families left behind, we'll stand by your side, and the bond will never be